Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are diving deep into the world of one of the most iconic superheroes ever created, Iron Man. Whether you're a die-hard Marvel fan or just love the movies, Tony Stark has captured our imaginations for decades. But how much do you really know about the Armored Avenger? We're going to uncover some fascinating facts and surprising details you might have missed. From his comic book origins to his big screen legacy, we've got a lot to talk about. So, power up your arc reactors, because this is going to be an epic journey. Let's get started. First things first, let's talk about his creation. Iron Man first appeared way back in 1963 in a comic called Tales of Suspense issue number 39. He was co-created by the legendary Stan Lee, along with Larry Lieber, Don Heck, and Jack Kirby. Now, Stan Lee had a very specific goal in mind. At the height of the Cold War, he wanted to create a character that people were supposed to hate. Think about it, Tony Stark was a billionaire weapons manufacturer, the ultimate capitalist. Lee wanted to challenge himself and his readers by taking this seemingly unlikable guy and turning him into a hero that everyone would eventually root for. It was a bold move, and as we all know, it paid off big time. Tony Stark's journey from a self-interested industrialist to a selfless hero is one of the most compelling character arcs in comic book history. Now for a fun fact you might not know, the inspiration for Tony Stark's personality was a fictional character. Stan Lee actually based him on the real-life eccentric billionaire Howard Hughes. Hughes was an inventor, an adventurer, a film producer, and a bit of a playboy. Sound familiar? He was known for his genius, his wealth, and his very unconventional lifestyle. Lee saw the dramatic potential in a character like that and channeled it directly into Tony Stark. This real-world grounding gave Tony a layer of complexity that made him feel more believable, even when he was flying around in a high-tech suit of armor. It's this blend of fantasy and reality that makes him so fascinating. Let's talk about the armor. We all know the classic red and gold suit, but did you know that wasn't his original look? In his very first appearance, Iron Man's suit was a bulky, gray, metallic shell. It looked more like a walking tank than the sleek armor we know today. It was purely functional, designed by Tony and his fellow captive, Ho Yinsen, just to escape. The famous gold armor was introduced in the very next issue, and then the iconic red and gold color scheme debuted a little later. Tony decided to add the red to make himself look less intimidating and more like a hero. Over the years, he's had dozens, if not hundreds, of different suits, each designed for a specific purpose, like the Hulkbuster, the stealth armor, and even armor for deep sea and space exploration. Speaking of suits, let's dive into one of the most famous ones, the Hulkbuster. This massive suit of armor was specifically designed for one purpose, to go toe-to-toe with the Incredible Hulk. It's a testament to Tony's genius and his preparedness. He knows the Hulk is a friend, but he also knows the potential for destruction if Bruce Banner loses control. The Hulkbuster is essentially a suit of armor worn over his regular armor, providing immense strength and durability. It has appeared multiple times in the comics and made a spectacular debut in the movie Avengers: Age of Ultron. The sheer scale and power of the Hulkbuster show that Tony Stark is always thinking ahead, planning for every possible worst-case scenario. It's a perfect example of his brilliant and sometimes paranoid mind at work. Beyond his own adventures, Tony Stark is a cornerstone of the entire Marvel Universe. He was a founding member of the Avengers, both in the comics and in the movies. He's often the one funding the team, providing their headquarters like Avengers Tower or the Avengers Compound, and developing their technology. His role as the team's benefactor and tech guru is crucial, but he's more than just the money guy. His strategic mind and leadership skills have been essential in countless battles. However, his strong personality and my way or the highway attitude have also led to some serious conflicts with other heroes, most notably Captain America during the Civil War storyline. This internal conflict makes the team dynamic so much more interesting. Let's talk about that Civil War. This was a massive event in the comics that pitted hero against hero. The government proposed the Superhuman Registration Act, which would require all superpowered individuals to register their identities with the government and act as official agents. Tony Stark, haunted by a past tragedy caused by an untrained hero, surprisingly supported the act. He believed it was a necessary step for accountability and safety. Captain America, on the other hand, saw it as a violation of civil liberties and refused to comply. This ideological clash split the superhero community right down the middle, with Iron Man leading one faction and Cap leading the other. It was a dark and complex story that explored deep questions about freedom versus security, and Tony's role in it was one of the most controversial and defining moments of his character's history. Did you know that Tony Stark has a godson in the Marvel Universe? Well, not literally, but he has a very close mentorship role with a younger hero, Spider-Man. In both the comics and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Tony sees a lot of himself in the young, brilliant Peter Parker. He takes Peter under his wing, providing him with advanced suits and invaluable guidance. This relationship is incredibly important for both characters. For Peter, Tony is a father figure he desperately needs. For Tony, mentoring Peter gives him a sense of purpose and a chance to guide the next generation of heroes, helping Peter avoid some of the same mistakes he made. The bond they share is one of the most heartwarming and eventually heartbreaking parts of the MCU saga. Let's discuss something a bit darker in Tony's past, his struggle with alcoholism. In the late 1970s, Marvel published a storyline called Demon in a Bottle. It was groundbreaking for its time because it portrayed a major superhero dealing with a very real and serious personal problem. The story showed Tony's life spiraling out of control due to his drinking, affecting his business, his relationships, and his ability to be Iron Man. He eventually loses his company and is forced to confront his demons. This storyline added an incredible amount of depth and humanity to the character. It showed that even a billionaire genius in a super suit has vulnerabilities and flaws, making him one of the most relatable heroes in comics. It was a brave story to tell and remains one of the most important in Iron Man's history. Now for a lighter, but still awesome, fact. Tony Stark is so smart that he's considered a polymath. He has multiple doctorates in fields like physics and engineering from MIT. But his genius isn't just limited to building suits. He's also a master strategist, a brilliant businessman, and a skilled hacker. In the comics, his brain itself has been described as a supercomputer. At one point, after a battle, his biology was merged with his armor's technology, giving him the ability to mentally interface with any computer system in the world. He could essentially feel technology and control it with his mind. While this power has come and gone in the comics, it just goes to show that Tony Stark's greatest weapon has never been his suit. It's always been his incredible mind. And there you have it, a deep dive into the fascinating world of Iron Man. From his surprising origins based on Howard Hughes to his complex personal struggles and his pivotal role in the Marvel Universe, Tony Stark is so much more than just a guy in a can. He's a flawed, brilliant, and ultimately heroic character who has left a permanent mark on pop culture. His story is one of redemption, innovation, and sacrifice, reminding us that anyone can change and become a force for good. What are some of your favorite Iron Man moments or facts? Let me know down in the comments below. I love reading what you guys have to say. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content just like this. We'll see you in the next one.